Hey, welcome to the Swing Collective, episode 1-1, episode 11. We're firmly in the double digits. Man, when I hear that sound, it's like the gauntlet has been thrown, and we're going to start talking golf. How you doing, Izzy?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Had quite the early start of the week. Lots of
Yeah.
interesting stories and tales of valor and defeat.
That's right, man. I know we're going to get into that real soon. Well, just two of us tonight, man. It's the skeleton crew, but I will say the most dynamic pairing since the PGA put Rory and Scheffler and Schauffele together. But we'll get to all that in a minute. This is the Swing Collective PGA preview show. Man, remember how hyped we got for the Masters? It seemed like it was just the other day, and now we have the second major thrust upon us, man. I'm excited to talk about it, dude. But before we do that, the Swing Collective had a little major played this week. Izzy, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we did, man. We went to the For the Crowne tournament in Charlotte at TPC Piper Glen. Got to play in that tournament.
Yes, we did.
Got to meet
Yes,
some
we
of
did.
the absolute gentlemen as part of the Foreplay podcast. That round as a 2-man scramble. Me and Bird played. It started off real good, man.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Par on hole one. Well, I guess we started on 18. So par on 18, par on one, birdie on two.
Birdie on two. We're one under, tied for second. It's
Nice.
on, baby.
And then on hole four, it started to rain.
Yeah.
And when I say rain, I mean it was an absolute torrential downpour.
Apocalyptic.
Play stopped for 30 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, we had a foursome in front of us that just decided when the message came through, y'all just stay out of the rain as best you can. They decided as best you can was in the carts under a tree until it stopped raining. So we got a little traffic jam behind us, but it was all good. Everybody was in good spirits.
Yeah, I think the rain cooled us off though. We were on a bit of a heater, making some long putts we probably shouldn't have made, and hitting some really nice approaches that.
Yeah.
I say really nice. We were playing a little egg and ham the whole day. If I hit a bad shot, Bird kind of picked up the slack, and vice versa. But
Vice versa.
having to stop 30 minutes and I mean I don't think there was a dry piece of clothing on my body. After
Yeah, man. I don't think those socks are salvageable. I think they're gonna go to the green box.
They were going down into my shoes.
It's the worst feeling, dude.
I took a step. It was tough.
Well, the good news about it, I think, is that when you're already as waterlogged as you can be from the ankles down, it can't get any worse.
No.
It's just that's how it goes. But man, you're right, dude. When play resumed, I had that 3 hybrid that got us. It was a long par 4, got us way down there, and then we chipped up, and I think we missed a pretty makeable par putt to save par on that hole.
It happened a couple times.
Yeah, so we're back to even par, headed to 4, and the up and down that we had was it 5? Oh, we already said the up and down that we had on that hole, man. Your chip over the bunker because we were on the wrong side of the green side bunker, and it rolled out, and then I think 10, 12 foot putt. I hit center of the cup for par. Yeah. We high-fived, and we're like, and we're gonna play now, baby. And it kind of went downhill from there. But, when people ask, how did the Swing Collective do at Foreplay's event, we get to tell them we didn't finish
last. That's
right.
We
didn't come in last.
That's right. We tried, but we didn't.
Well, we had a hell of a good time. So, Riggs, Trent, Foreplay crew, thank you for letting the Swing Collective be down there. I know y'all are listening to us on Apple Podcasts and seeing us on YouTube. But, it was fun.
Tell them about 17 before we move on.
So we finished on 17, par 3. We're driving over there, and I don't know which one of us said it, but we're like, if we eagle this, that's a couple strokes to the good. And
if we eagled it, we got single digits.
That's it. So we show up to the tee. It's par 3. So I just remember, elevated tee box going down to the green. It was playing like it was 120.
Yeah.
So I don't know, 140 or something. It was a pretty significant drop. And I just remember thinking, all right, man, that's my pitching wedge. I don't have a fast swing speed. That's a pitching wedge all over 120 or so. Wind's helping just a little bit. And what ratcheted up the degree of difficulty a little bit, man, was about 4 carts pull up, guys that were finished heading back to the clubhouse. So they all stopped. So we got a little gallery as you and I stepped up to a 120-yard elevated tee box down to a par 3, soaking wet, into the round. And I'll just say, man, Bird had a few to drink during that round, man. So look, a few more than he usually does. And I was right there. I was telling Noah, who couldn't be on the show with us tonight, I was telling him I was right on that cusp of the most relaxed swing that you can have versus I'm a little sloppy. And I had not crossed over, so I was feeling good, man. Great round with my man Izzy. I'm like, all right, here we go. I put a good swing on it. It was one of those ones, y'all know who's listening. You know what I'm talking about when I say the minute it came off the club, you're like, oh, that has the potential to be really good. And we watched it all the way down. And what's the first sound we hear?
Clunk.
Thwack! And the flag stick's doing this. Hit the flag on the fly and put a divot right next to the hole, rolls out to 7-8 feet, which could have been a lot worse. But man, if I hit that thing 6 inches shorter, we might have a dunkaroo for eagle, man. It was right there on the flag stick. The guys behind us enjoyed it. Yeah. And that was a good way for us to finish our round and go get something to eat in the clubhouse.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Most perfect baby draw. I mean, it was right when the rain was starting to come back down too, because it started raining again after that.
Yeah, that's right.
And in fact, that happening with that group behind us later on in the clubhouse, they walked up to us and talked to Tim and said, or to Bird, and say, hey man, loved that. That was a great shot. And they asked us about the shirts we had on, and we got to talk about the podcast and kind of let people know. And I saw that we had a couple additional subscribers the other day.
Hey,
so we have 2 more. So
if it's our friends from Piper Glen, leave us a comment. Hey man, come on the show. We need to start talking about some guests on this podcast. So if you were at Piper Glen and you were picking up Izzy and the Bird from meeting us in the clubhouse after the round, before the round, during the round, got to meet some of the guys that rolled out with us. Just leave us a comment. Get in touch with us. We'll have you on the show, man. We want to talk about how you did at the foreplay event for the Crown. And we talk golf here, man. That's what we do. We talk about our golf games, where we're at, the highs, the lows. Did I mention the lows? There are some lows. We talk about them. We're trying to get better. And then we always talk about what's going on in the world of golf too, man. We would love to have you guys on the show. Speaking of, Izzy, in my day job, I've got some friends out in Nashville. We say JB, Tiffany, everybody listening to this episode. Anyway, we were all at an event together in Arizona a few weeks ago. That's when I got to play Wildfire with B. Anyway, I promised JB he was going to be our first guest. So we're going to have to make that happen. JB is a hell of a good dude, man. So he said, you guys have guests on your podcast? I said, not yet. He goes, are you going to? I said, probably. He said, I want to be the first guest. And hey, we can do a lot worse than JB. All right, so we got to make that happen. Our friends at Piper Glen that we got to meet this week, y'all come on too, man. Let us know you're out there listening.
Drop a comment, let us know, and we'll have you guys on. That'd be a fun.
Oh yeah, man. That's how these things grow, man. And one day, many moons from now, we'll be hosting our event before a major. Okay. Yeah. And people will be like, man, I got to meet Izzy. Yeah. Man, I got to meet Bird. He still stinks. Oh man, but it'll be fun.
I would hope that if this turned into something and we could make golf our day job, we would be better than we are now.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd be sorely disappointed in myself if that wasn't.
I think we'd have to be, bro. We'd have to do better. But it was great to get out there. And the thing about the golf community that I found fascinating is every once in a while you meet some d bags. I mean, it happens. I'll have to tell you a story about one of my neighbors. I'm leaving the course, and I live in a weird neighborhood, man. Not everybody. Some of them might be listening to our podcast here, but not everybody. But some of them, man, it's just they keep to themselves. Matter of fact, that was the quote that my next door neighbor told me. Next door neighbor, I moved in, I'd waved at them a couple times. They didn't wave back. I go, well, that's strange. We had some issues with the ponding back there. I was getting it fixed. I go to their door. I'm talking to them. Gentleman in the house didn't come to the door, but his wife did 3 times. In our 5-minute conversation, she said, you'll find that this neighborhood, we like to keep to ourselves. And I was like, okay, you told me 2 more times than I needed to hear it. So that's kind of the neighborhood I live in, Izzy. Anyway, I'm leaving the other day, heading to a round, not at the course you and I play at, but another one. And I see one of my neighbors carrying his bag to his truck, and I'm like, hell yeah, man, we're going to bond around the game of golf. I pull over, I roll down my window, I go, hey man, where are you going to play? And he said, he's younger than me, so don't let this fool you. Roanoke Country Club. And then I asked what's probably the dumbest question that I could ask. I said, are you a member? It could have been his dad, could have been a friend or whatever, but he goes, yeah. Like that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to play over at Ashley, which is a great public course. Yeah. 20, 30 minutes from here. I don't know if you've played it yet, Izzy. That's a great course. Our friends over at Runk and Pratt, y'all run a great course. You got 2 of them in the area, and that's a great course. So I'm going over to play at Ashley. And he goes, oh, that's nice. Kind of like, it's a charity case. I say, hey, bro, you're going to have to come down, man. Check out. I've got a simulator in the backyard. I'll start recording from there one day so our listeners can hear about it. And he gives a look like I live off the edge of the earth. He's a flat earther, and no offense to you flat earthers that listen to us, but he's like, I don't know if I could venture down there that 300 feet. And I go, all right, man, well, I'm going to take off. But then I realized it's time to cut bait. And he goes, hit him straight. So sometimes, anyway, here's my point, man. Long-winded, but sometimes you meet some D-bags, and sometimes they live on your street. That's just how it goes. But the game of golf, man, more than not, all a bunch of damn good people that you meet.
Yeah, and I haven't met many I didn't like.
I'm telling you. So apparently the foreplay guys must have wrote that into the rules or something to get to come to Piper Clyn. You have to be a good dude. Some ladies there too.
Everybody we met was awesome.
Fantastic, right? And that's more times than not, right? But every once in a while, you meet my neighbor. But that's few and far between. I like it when you're at a tee time with an odd number and you get randomly paired up with people, or maybe you're there with a couple people and you get paired off with a couple more. That is how you and I met.
Yeah, that's exactly how.
There with the 2 guys I play with regularly, Frank and Jeremy, loyal listeners to the show on Apple and YouTube. You were our 4th one day, man, and that's how we met. So
yeah, that was that fateful day.
Fateful.
I'm glad it was, man. I had just gotten back from a long work trip, and I was pretty just like burnt out. And my wife scheduled me around. Said I got you around 8 whatever on a Saturday. So thank you.
That's right.
That's pretty great. Go out and then bam. Now we've got the collective going, and
that's right. Well, Mrs. Izzy, thank you. I know you have to be a loyal listener, or maybe get this live together. I don't know how y'all do it. I know I get at least one download every episode. I go in and go, hey, Mrs. Bird, will you please listen to our show?
Will you go in there and hit the like button?
Well, hey, dude, speaking of Mrs. Bird, she has talked about it for a long time, and she said, what do you think about me getting some clubs?
Hey, brother.
What do I think about you getting some clubs? I think that'll be great. I'm no George Costanza here. My friend world and golf world and home world, they can collide. I'm cool with that, And so she's got them. They're sitting in there. It's ready to go.
The other day, I meant to ask you about it, but they look nice, man.
Dude, she got a set of the Callaway Stratas. I know it's their entry level clubs. She's an entry level player. It's all great. So she went on a weekend trip with her kids last week, and they ended up at Top Golf. I didn't get invited. I was like, man, if I knew you were going to Top Golf, I'd have been there. But she went to Top Golf, man, and it was so cool because I think being a golfer is like the people that we've all met on Facebook. You know, you go through stages where you want to share everything that's happening in your life, and then you kind of ease up, and then you get to kind of where I am with Facebook, and it's like I very seldom post anything anymore. I don't even get on there very much, you know. But same with golf. You know, she has not had some of the trials and tribulations and the valleys that we've been in as golfers. But so she's texted me Saturday from Top Golf, and she's like, I'm hitting the ball really well. Like I am really doing well here. Like these shots are not half bad. And I said, that's great. You know, we're going to have a lot of fun playing together. And then my second comment was, just wait, just wait, because they're coming. You know, the bad shots are coming. So I can't wait to get to the point where she's on the course with me or with us, and things are going all right. And then she hits one of those drives that are in the middle of the fairway, and life is good. And then from there, she double bogeys the hole. And what the hell just happened here?
As is tradition.
Yes. But many of our listeners have probably never experienced that from the middle of the fairway. They're par or better every time. I am not. I can find double bogey from a second shot in the middle of the fairway. I don't know why, but I can find it.
It's a true skill, man. It is. It is. That takes dedication to continually double from the middle of the fairway.
Yeah. Well, what's next for you, man, in your golf ventures? You got any rounds coming up, or any trips, anything fun?
I wanted to try and play this weekend, but it's going to be raining pretty heavily, both Saturday and Sunday. And Monday, I'm going to Nashville for a work trip. So my first round will probably not be until at the earliest Thursday next week. It will likely be Thursday or Friday. Saturday, we're going to go hiking.
Nice.
Nice.
Well,
if I can get one in, I will. But almost there's a solid chance I don't play at all this coming week.
Yeah. Well, call me if you find yourself back from your trip and you can play. I will make it a point to get out there with you, even if we do 9 after work. It's getting to that point, man, with time change and everything. We can get 9 in if we meet over there after work. Well, it's not raining this weekend in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Noah and I will be heading down tomorrow night and playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming back Sunday after the round. We've got 3 good rounds coming up. Noah's the birthday boy this weekend, so we're going to celebrate and we're going to play a round. I'm actually going to play 3 rounds. And
is it same course all 3 rounds? Or y'all doing?
It's not. We're playing Caledonia. It's very difficult for me to go to Myrtle Beach and not get down to Pawleys to play Caledonia. Mike Strand, you kill me with the way you can make a course hard, but Caledonia is a feast for the eyes. Our listeners out there, if you've played Caledonia, you're nodding your head with me right now. Ando just got back from down there. I think he played True Blue, which is sister course. They're right next to each other. Matter of fact, if you want to use the range before you play, you got to go to True Blue to use the range. Caledonia doesn't have one. And then we're playing Kings North on Saturday. That's part of the Myrtle Beach National little grouping of courses y'all have up on 501. If you're down from the area, you know there's a really interesting hole on Kings North called the Gambler. It's par 5. It's on the front. It's like the 5th or 6th hole. Don't hold me to that. I've only played it once before, but it's par 5 called the Gambler. One of those ones that, you know, you're on the tee box and you could follow the fairway all the way around to the green, which is over here to your left off the tee box. And it's probably 510, 520 yards if you follow it all the way around. Or you can turn and you can go straight for the flag, and they've got an island in the middle of a little pond there that's been, a fairway's been created, and reachable fairway. And if you can hit it, it's not huge, a little sliver of fairway out there, but if you can hit it, when I played it the last time, my second shot, I was 165 in on a par five. So I'm going to gamble. What's the worst that can happen?
Lose a ball, but
You lose a ball. But I would love to be able to hit that second shot. It was 165 last time to carry, maybe 175 to the pin. I think I hit it 166. Like I barely made it. Didn't make the green. I was over on the edge of the fairway. Botched my chip and 2 or 3 putted for bogey. Maybe it was maybe 3 putted for bogey. So I have a date with Destiny next this coming Saturday.
You're gonna birdie this one.
This is my time, man. It's my time. And the Barefoot Resort up in North Myrtle, we're going to play one of those courses on Sunday. So 3 really good rounds. Happy birthday to Noah, member of the collective. And good weather, 80 degrees every day. Sun and clouds, but no rain. It's been a minute since I played a dry round of golf. So I'm looking forward to it.
You've had the worst luck, like for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah. So it'll be nice just to go out there and not squish when I walk. That'd be nice, Also, man, picked up some new wedges.
Did you end up getting the Clevelands?
I did. You and I played a 2-man scramble here locally a few weeks ago, and I won a door prize, a beautiful 3-wood TaylorMade QI 35. Okay, I play ping 430s. My 3-wood's brand new, so I didn't need it. Also, it's right-handed.
Yeah,
I'm a left-handed golfer, so they were very gracious to exchange it for me. So they didn't have to do that. So I picked up Cleveland wedges, man. I'm gonna do something a little different. What do you carry? Your wedges. What do you have?
I've got the TaylorMade. I forget what they are. The newest TaylorMade ones, and I love them, man. They're nice. They zip. I like looking like the top view of them. The leading edge is a little smoother than I had the Lazarus wedges like you had.
Yeah.
And the leading edge on that is really sharp. So
right.
I feel like it's been easier to not hit into the ground and catch on chips with these, just because there's less grab on the front of the leading edge.
Well, I mean, Lazarus is a hell of a deal. $110 for 3 milled wedges, and they're good wedges. But I run into the same problem, man. I will sometimes just really dig in on those. But what lofts are you rocking right now?
I play 60, 56, and 52.
Okay. And then what do you have? Pitch and wedge? Do you have a gap as well?
52 is my gap. So it goes
Okay.
60, 56, 52, approach, pitching 9-8 through 5.
Okay.
Play the C2s.
Okay, so here's my deal, man. With the Lazarus Club, same thing. I've got my pitching wedge. I've got a gap wedge that's 48 degrees, and then I've got a 48. Then I've got a 52, a 56, and a 60. That Lazarus set, Same as you. And it's really been difficult for me because that's 14 clubs. But at the top, I've got driver 3 hybrid, 5, 6, 7. So I would like to add maybe probably not a 7 wood, but maybe a 4 hybrid or something like that to mix in on some shots, because I really hit that 3 hybrid well when it's dialed in. I've been kind of hit and miss lately, but it really does well for me when it's working.
Do you have a big gap between your 5 and your 3 hybrid?
No, that's what I'm saying. I go 3 hybrid, 5 iron. So I would like to put something in there to close that gap. But in order to do that, I got to get rid of a wedge because I'm at 14 clubs right now. So I have painstakingly looked at it and kind of, what I've seen people say basically is there's really no rhyme or reason. Kind of do whatever you want to do there. Just make sure that you have some consistency between your wedges. So, for example, you wouldn't want to have a 48, a 52, and a 60.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't want to have a 48 and then a 56 and a 60. You want to have some consistency. So I am going to pick up that Fore hybrid, I think, or something like that. If you're listening to the collective, leave us a comment on YouTube or Apple and tell me, driver got the Ping 430. I'm thrilled with it. 3-wood, also a 430, and the 3 hybrids of 430. I'm happy with all of them, but I feel like there's a big gap between my 3 hybrid and my 5-iron, and I would like to close it with a 4 hybrid maybe. Y'all leave us a comment. Give the Birdman some feedback. What I'm doing on the high end or the low end, depending on how you look at it, is really happy with my gap. I'm rocking the Mizuno Hot Metal 923s, at least for now. Another year maybe I'll be ready to graduate to the big boys table. Something, but I hit those 923s well. The gap is a 48, so instead of going 52, 56, 60 like you're talking about, I'm going to go 48, 54, 58.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't particularly love my 60 degree, except that rare occasion that I actually hit it well. Most of the time I'm like, why am I carrying this? So I'm going to go 54, 58. And I feel like I've got a good, space between, and then I'm going to look for something at the top end. So I pick them up when we roll into town tomorrow night, and I'll probably hit them Friday. We'll see. Take them to the range. If I don't like them, I'll keep the Lazarus.
If you end up going to the range, let me know. I may join you if it's in the afternoon or something.
Well, I'll be in South Carolina, so I'll pick them up Thursday night, tomorrow night, as we record this, and then Friday I'll take them to the range Friday morning, see how I hit them, and they might go right in the bag and right out into the Caledonia wilderness, or I might just play the Lazarus and wait. So. Haven't decided.
You know how that goes. I did something similar. I had a 3 hybrid as well, and I swapped it out with a driving 2-iron, and I love that thing. It is my safest long distance club in the bag. Over my 3-wood, over my driver, I know exactly what it's going to do. Very rarely does it go. Sometimes I'll mishit it and it'll go shorter, but it very rarely goes in a direction I don't expect or want. And it's like I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I got in this situation, but I need to get out and I'll pull out the 2-iron.
That's not what you hit on 18 at Piper Glen, is it?
That was it. That was what I hit the second shot. Yeah, that was my 2-iron.
All right, so
it's a perfect example.
Oh my God, yeah. So we're off the tee, and on 18, I yanked it a little right. I missed the fairway, across the cart path, up a little embankment, and then rolled back down. Not flat, but not as bad as it could have been. We were just kind of over there. Izzy's drive didn't work out, so that was the one that we needed to use. I think it was 280 yards in. For the second shot at par 5, and I hit one, and I advanced us up maybe half of it. I think we had 150 or so to go if we would have needed my ball, and then you rocketed one 200, 205, middle of the fairway. We had 70 yards in for our third shot. So that was
probably. What's crazy is like, I probably hit that club 4 or 5 times that day, just throughout the round, and I think I hit it badly once.
It's deadly. I know only other people besides you that I know that carry 2-iron. I'm sure there's tons of people out there. Is Noah and Tiger Woods. So you're in good company, man. One of those guys is a little better than the other, but it's all good. But hey, between the 3 of you, you got 15 majors. So that's
That's
not
right.
bad.
Yeah, no, I'm in good company. Speaking
Speak,
of majors,
Speaking of majors, yeah.
yeah, what a transition. We got the PGA Championship coming up this weekend, starting tomorrow, and you had a pretty I don't know if I'd say controversial. I kind of been leaning in your direction, just given the last like 2 weeks of play, or a couple weeks of play. What's your bet you're going to place?
Well, man, just hypothetical, and I don't know that I'm placing this bet, but something I really wanted to kind of pose to the collective. If more of us were here tonight, we'd do a big up and slow down on this. But um, man, I love the PGA Championship. And I think I love it more now that they moved it from August to May because especially on a Ryder Cup year, it seemed like there was a big gap between the Masters in April and the U.S. Open in June, and then we go to the Open Championship, and then you're talking late July. Most everyone is in the top six of uh, in the United States and Europe. They've solidified their positions. Now we're thinking captain's picks. And let's get on to the Ryder Cup. Hold on, we got one more major. We got the PGA. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. We got the PGA coming up. Another major. And no offense to the PGA because they do a lot of great stuff, but man, that was tough. Moving it to May is a game changer because we had the Masters. Oh, what a Masters it was!
Yes, it was.
And hell, man, we got another major coming up right now, and it's still probably the fourth one on on my list. If you gave me the list of one that I could win, I'd want to win Augusta. Then I'd want to win the Open Championship, then the U.S. Open, then the PGA. That'd be my pick. But
Honestly, I think I'd want to win. Shoot, what's the one that they play in? Oh my God, I'm blanking so hard on this tournament. The Players. I'd want to win the Players over.
over the PGA, you'd rather players. Well, a
Personally,
lot of people say it's the fifth major. That's okay. That's
yeah,
not a bad one, man. Sawgrass is pretty iconic.
yeah, yeah. That's a great course.
Yeah, so I get it. But by moving it to May, number one, I mean, I think it really sets up the year perfectly. And then we've got, man, 1 month. We're at the U.S. Open at Oakmont, and there's a couple signature events on each side of the U.S. Open. So it really sets up the calendar great.
Yeah,
Um, and I love what they do with the pairings, man. They're really, really interesting with the pairings. Didn't they put Brooks and Bryson together when they were having their
I think they did.
controversy back in the day? I
I
think
think
so. I
they
mean, they're
did.
really genius with some of the stuff they do, and they've got a little threesome going out at 8:22 in the morning. Maybe you've heard of some of these guys: Rory, Scotty, Xander.
Yeah,
Come on, man! And then I think 1:45 on Friday. So it's one of those days, and I probably shouldn't say this in case some of my leadership at my day job it listens to the Swing Collective. But I've got where I'm sitting now. My work computer's right here, and then my TV is right there. And tomorrow morning's one of those things that I will put on some golf while I'm working. So it'll be nice. And what that's going to be a group to watch, man. So here's my bet. You asked me about the bet, and I'm not really placing this, but my question I was going to pose to the collective is, hey, you got $100. You can put it down, and we'll just make it easy because I had Bryson in instead of Xander. But you can put your $100 on the champion is coming from that group, or you can have the field. Who are you taking?
so I like the discussion this brings up, and with with how well Rory played at the Masters, and it wasn't like he hasn't been playing well the last few weeks. He hasn't won, but he hasn't. He's been top 10. I think at every turn. I think he played twice since the Masters, and he was top 10 both times.
Yep.
Um, but then you got Scotty, who won that tournament down in 2 weeks ago that he won.
In Texas, hey, he won
Yeah,
the CJ RNS.
31 under, which was just insane. Uh, I feel like, but then all of them fell short last week. Um, I feel like I take the field. I just think the odds are there,
Yeah.
and for some reason, man, I'm not feeling like especially Shoffley fell off pretty hard. I know he's kind of working his way back into a contention spot, but I just don't feel like all three of them have been consistent enough, except maybe Scotty. I say that. I mean, Rory's got 3 wins. I don't know. That's a hard question to answer.
It's tough, man. I think I agree with you, and I hate to say I'm going to take the field because what do we have, 72 or so golfers in the field, so it gives me 69, 69 other golfers that could win. John Daly's not in it, but he wouldn't win it. There's some people at the top,
Sure.
20 or so PGA pros. Those guys aren't winning it.
Yeah.
Although we did have a great story, last year or two with that. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to just play the numbers game here, but I still think I take the field because, Colin Morikawa has a PGA. He's a damn good golfer, and he's been real close.
Yeah.
Ludwig is going to win one. It's just a matter of time, and this feels like one that he could win. You need to be long at Quail Hollow. If you're not, that's where all the thick stuff is, man. You got to be careful. So it favors the bombers, and so Ludwig should do okay there. JT is rounding into form, and he's got a couple of these.
Yeah.
Koepka's got 3, and he's not too shabby either.
Koepka was uninspiring at the Masters, and
yeah,
I just feel like he's not going to win the PGA Championship.
no, you're probably right. Spieth will be on the clock trying to complete a career Grand Slam. I don't think he's a threat
either.
And I've yet to talk about Bryson. But what if I said, okay, you can have Rory, Scheffler, and JT, or Rory, Scheffler, or Bryson? Does that change your mind at all, or are you still going to play the numbers?
Maybe Rory, Scheffler, and Bryson, because Schauffele he's just not.
Yeah,
he hasn't been putting the numbers up that make me feel like he could possibly take it.
Yeah,
my heart wants Rory to win it. I think it would be one of the greatest years of golf ever if he somehow won all 4 and completed the Tiger Slam.
Well, it would be the greatest.
Slam was big, but if somehow he did both in 1 year,
yeah,
I just think that the year itself would go down in history as one of the greatest years of golf. I mean, I can't think of one since Tiger's 2000-2001 season that would compete with that, because yes, Scheffler won 8 times last year, but they weren't, he didn't have multiple majors.
Couple signature events, a gold medal, and a Masters. He had a great year. Had the Players, and had your 5th major there. So, but I agree with you, man. And go back and look at what Tiger did with the Tiger Slam. For those of y'all maybe listening that don't understand the Tiger Slam, he won the final 2 of 2000 and the first 2 of 2001. So he was the reigning champ at all 4 there for a minute. So
I guess we need it's winning the 4 majors consecutively. It doesn't have to all be in 1 year. It just has to be one after the other. So
so his Tiger Slam, he had 4 in a row, but 2 of them in this season, 2 of them the next. The Grand Slam, not the career Grand Slam, but a true Grand Slam, you got to win all 4 of them in a calendar year. So there's only one person that can win the Grand Slam now, and that's Rory. And I agree with you, man. If he were to somehow win at Quail Hollow, which he is not a stranger to Quail Hollow, he can get around that course just fine. Thank you very much.
How many wins does he have at Quail? 6, something like that?
He's won the truest 4 times. And I think maybe I don't want to speak, I should know this, but maybe they played a Ryder Cup there and he did all right. I don't remember, maybe not. but he's got 4 Truist championships. Played at Quail Hollow. They only played it at Philly this year because of the PGA. So he knows that course really well. And I agree with you. I don't think. I mean, I would love to see Spieth get the career Grand Slam. I've always thought he's a good dude. Um,
Next year.
Next year, right? Because the more compelling story that we are all going to be geeked about is, can Rory go to Oakmont and win? Because if he did, and he goes to the Open with a chance to make history, So I think this is the gotcha moment. You know, if he somehow wins at Quail Hollow, which he can easily, he's proven it, then I think it doesn't put the pressure on him in Oakmont. I think it gives him the incentive
Yeah.
at Oakmont. And then, I would put some money down on the man, to be okay in the Open Championship if he can get that far with the Grand Slam intact. So I'm rooting for him. I'm with you. I'm rooting for him. Scheffler, and it's hard not to root for him. He and Grant Horvat put a good video up.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
We watched that, and Grant never stood a chance, man. That was the most unassuming, mediocre round of 66 I've ever seen anybody shoot, man. Scheffler was just never in trouble.
Yeah.
He bogeyed one hole, but never in trouble. Just, could have very easily shot 60 the way he was
out there having a good time too. I mean, just how he was communicating too,
right.
It seemed like he did, not that he didn't care about the round, but he seemed so unfocused on performance. That
around YouTube golf in
yeah,
general, right? Grant's asking him, do you watch the YouTube golf? Nah. Like, I'm aware of who you guys are, but I don't watch it, and it was neat just to get little vignettes into his life, his wife Meredith, and what are you going to do today? Well, I'm going to go play some golf today. Oh, it's for YouTube. Oh, so they're going to broadcast it on YouTube, and you could just see that neither one of them are invested in that side of golf because they've got a whole other thing going on. They've got the real deal, and YouTube is great for people like us. We're on YouTube, with the Swing Collective. You don't have to just listen to us on Apple, but it was just interesting to your point, just how nonchalant he is and how it really feels like he's got it all balanced right now, and he doesn't want to take on anymore.
Yeah,
but is handling what he's got, and just went out there and shot 66. Like, okay, that's fine. 66.
Pretty crazy.
Not easy course. One day, man. One day we'll get there.
We'll be there.
That's right. You got any dark horses, you think? And you don't have to go way down the list, man, but everybody's talking about Rory and Chef and Bryson. You got anybody that you think, watch out for this guy because I think he can really do something?
I don't think that there's anybody who sticks out to me that I'm like, he's our sneaky beaver. I mean, Justin, maybe, but again, not really a dark horse. He just won a couple of weeks ago. His form has been coming back into what it used to be. I mean, he's had how many 10 under rounds this year? Like 3 or 4. It's kind of crazy. He's streaky, but he's still playing well. I mean, he's ranked third right now in the PGA, I think.
Yeah.
I always want Akshay Bhatia to do well. I think he is the next generation of, in a couple of years, I think he's going to be the new Xander, the new Bryson, the new Scheffler. I think he's going to be in that tier of in contention with regularity.
Right.
And so I want him to do well, but I don't necessarily think he's going to win. I don't think he's like a dark horse who has a chance. I like Minwoo a lot. Again, a lot of these guys that I'm fans of are people who they do stuff on YouTube, they do stuff on social media, and so I've found a connection with them outside of watching them play golf well. They actually there's a personality portion of this that I have a connection with. But no, I don't think I have. I think if there's a true dark horse that no one would see coming, that I hope he plays up to his potential, it's Batia, because he's got the game. He just makes mistakes.
Yeah,
He's hit. I mean, I think he had 10 birdies round one at the Truist last week
yeah. It's just he finds a way
to give it back, to give the
to give it
strokes
back.
back.
Right. Well, I'm with you. It's funny because I like Batia as well, and I like Bryson who does a lot on
Yeah,
YouTube. But some of these guys with the personalities, and I don't know what it is, man. I don't fault them for it. I'm not trying to be old and grouchy, but like I see them as I don't want to say they're not serious about it because of course they're serious about it, but I don't like Min Woo Lee as much as you do because of all the stuff that he does on YouTube. And Tom Kim is another one. Like
yeah,
Tom Kim seems like a solid gold dude. I know he's friends with Scheffler. We all see that. But he just seems like he's a really good dude. But I just need you to just tone it down a little bit, man, because you're kind of grating on my nerves. And I don't know why that is. Um, Maybe it's because with all the extra stuff, they remind me a little bit of Ricky Fowler. And Ricky Fowler not winning multiple majors with the talent that he has, just to me was, were you focused enough on what you do Thursday to Sunday? You know, where you
yeah.
put in the work for that. And maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I don't know why. But I see those guys like that. But, you know, you kind of dance right around. My dark horse, and it's hard to say number 3 in the FedEx Cup is a dark horse, but Justin Thomas was kind of dead and buried.
Yeah.
You know, a couple years ago, we're talking about he doesn't belong on the Ryder Cup team. Last year, he played in such a way that, well, if the Ryder Cup was picked this year, he definitely wouldn't be on it. Now he has played his way onto that team and back, you know, at the top of the leaderboard. So he collects these dang things. He's already got 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see him getting a third. And Morikawa is just like that. He's like 2 steps behind JT. He was great. He kind of fell down, and now he's back with a vengeance. So
Well, his issue is that I've seen is he's like an upper, like he's always top 20, right? Sometimes top 10, and sometimes higher than that. But
yeah,
he just can't close out a
right.
tournament. It seems like every time I watch him, he's got a lead or he's playing crazy good, and then it feels like he works to not lose rather than to win.
Yeah, he finds a way to finish T5 or something like that.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the as he what how he plays is I don't want to drop strokes instead of I need to gain strokes. It just seems
yeah.
like he plays defensively. Maybe is the word I'm looking for.
Well,
Um,
and as if we're talking about people that are playing really well right now at the proper time, you know, maybe it's an Irishman that's holding up the Wanamaker on Sunday, but it's not Rory. You know, Shane Lowry.
Lowry's playing well as well. That's a good.
Here's a couple tournaments here, maybe one before uh, the Zurich and one after, where he's right there, and he found a way to give it up too. But man, like he should have won Sunday. I mean, he had it and he lost it. And he came back and he's still got one. He's got a putt to force a playoff. You know, so I know he was pretty downtrodden. But how many times do you see somebody knock out the door, only to bust it open? So he's certainly long enough that he can conquer Quail Hollow. So he might be a good choice for this week, man. But we'll all find out in about 12 hours as it'll be underway as we record this, man. So I'm excited to see it. What?
Yeah, less than that, man. It's going to be
Yeah,
less than 9.
yeah, because
It's
we're
7
late.
a.m. We got 7 a.m. tea times.
It's late on Wednesday night. That's right. Well, man, what are you looking forward to like after the PGA? I feel like the season gets rolling, and maybe it's not the most exciting thing in the world to watch them play in Hawaii, except for Pebble. And I know Tori's out there with the Genesis, but or they have they have Tori, and then they usually play the Genesis at Riviera. I know that it doesn't really get rolling until the Players and the Masters, and now here we are at the PGA. And to me, that's when like they just throw the doors open and hey, we're open for business. What are you looking forward to after this? So I feel like one hit after
the
another.
Open,
Yep.
and the U.S. Open. And my main hope for the year is for Rory to win all four. I mean, I think that just was
Yeah. I hope we're
what
still
an
talking about
incredible story and journey that would be. It's like when the I mean, I don't know. You can't really think of there's not very many sports comparisons to something like that happening. At least not one that I can draw
that.
off the
Right.
top of my head. The Travelers I'm looking forward to. Pebbles always, Pebble Beach is just so iconic, and I'm looking forward to that as well. But mainly the Open and the U.S. Open,
Yeah.
seeing what happens there.
Yeah, I'm excited, man, because we've got essentially the next 5 weeks are just maybe prime time because we're supposed to have the PGA. In 2 weeks, we have the travel or have the Memorial, and then 2 weeks after that, U.S. Open, then the Travelers the week right after that. So two signature events with the U.S. Open in the middle over the next 5 weeks, and oh yeah, we got a major over the next 4 days before we even get to any of that. So this is really when it's prime time, and once we get through, say, the next 5 weeks, we can start penciling some people in for that Ryder Cup team and the FedEx. So and oh yeah, they go to my second favorite major in July over across the pond where we get to get up early on the weekends, make a good breakfast, and settle in about 9:30. No, there will be no yard mowing today. We're going to watch these guys play some golf. So that's always a good time. Well, brother, we say we end this and invite everybody to come back for episode 12 in a few days, and we'll talk about who won and kind of dissect the PGA.
Yeah, I hope it's a crazy tournament. I mean, I want 5 people down to the wire.
Yeah, like
And
we had at Augusta.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, I mean, that was what an ending to a tournament. I hope the other majors can match the epic, finale of that
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah. The last thing you want to see is somebody that runs and hides, kind of like Harmon did at the Open year before last. He got out to such a big lead. It was a little anticlimactic at the end. We don't want that. We want a little bit of drama for sure. Well, man, I will talk to you next week. Noah and I will be back from Myrtle, where he will probably take 3 throttlings. He swears to me it's not going to happen. So either he's been doing some practicing that I don't know about, or it's wishful thinking. So we'll see. But
Let us know how that goes.
yeah, man, looking forward to it. Thanks everybody for listening to the Swing Collective. Couple crazy guys and usually a few more talking about the game of golf, both our own and the game that we all love to watch. Give us a like on Apple or YouTube if you found this enjoyable. Hopefully our new friends from Piper Glen are listening and can do that for us because we want you out here with us on a later episode. But you share this with a couple friends and they share it with a couple friends, and pretty soon Izzy and I are quitting our jobs and becoming full-time golfers. And our spouses say, what? What? You're doing what?
What? Look, just say, hey, look, we're trying to grow the collective. We want everybody a part of it.
That's right.
We're just doing
That's
something
right.
for fun and enjoying ourselves and talking about
Right.
something we love. So
That's a good point, brother. It's not the 2 of us. It's not even the 5 of us. It's the collective. It's for all of us. So that's so we'll see where this takes us, my man. Appreciate the time. Enjoy your week, and we'll catch y'all all on the next episode.
thanks everybody. If you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, share it with friends and family. We
Do
appreciate
it.
it. See you guys next time.
See you.